Hello, viewers. You are all welcome to the program Mining for the Truth. JoSA is my name from Ghana, West Africa. I'm here with my wife,
Mrs. Sarah Atta.
Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. We are from Ghana, West Africa, and together we are Mining for the Truth. You can call us JoSA, Joseph and Sarah Atta. Mining for the Truth refers to the process of digging to discover the undiluted doctrines of Christ. We attend Church of Christ. It has two reasons as follows. One, to teach the word. John 1 verse 1. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. You can prove within Genesis 1 verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The plural Hebrew word for God there is Elohim, God the Father, God the Son, Jesus Christ, the Word, God the Holy Spirit. Two, to teach the truth. John 8:32, and you know the truth, and the truth will make you free. What is the truth? John 17:17. Sanctify them by your truth. Your word is truth. What is the truth manifestation? John 14 verse 6. Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except by me or except through me. The phrase except by me means that there is no any other name under the heavens and the earth upon which you are being saved except Jesus Christ. Act 4 verse 12. On that note, we welcome Doris Odonko officially. I love you so much, and I know you love me too. I welcome all my viewers. We are continuing with the program. The topic is the plain truth about money. Today we are on chapter 2, episode 2. So chapter 2 is Jesus' teaching on material wealth, right? Last week was episode 1. Today is episode 2. The fleeting value of earthly treasures. Matthew 6 verse 19. Last time I said that, last week we quoted Matthew 6, 19 to 21. And I said that we are going to teach it, so today will be verse 19. Next time will be verse 20. Next time will be verse 21. So it will be in 4 episodes. Today is episode 2. The fleeting value of earthly treasures. Please, we can all read Matthew 6 verse 19.
Matthew 6:19. Do not lay up for yourself treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal.
Thank you so much. First of all, so today we're going to do exegesis. Actually, we're going to exegete Matthew 6 verse 19. What did Jesus mean? He is the master. In fact, I don't like to teach what Christ himself taught because I cannot equate his wisdom. So I'm cautious. Today we are going to look at the Greek origins of the words used in Matthew 6 verse 19. But let's explain and understand the meaning of fleet, transitory, swift, something which is not permanent. So he's saying that the fleeting value of earthly treasures. What are you accumulating? Money, car, burden, mansions, savings, gadgets. They are fleeting, they are transitory. So it means that even wealth is a liability. I've been saying that money isn't an asset. Now, I'm still on your question that I think you asked on the first day that money saves life. Yeah, someone also asked me the same thing online, but he preferred that I sent to him email. So it was an email that when you go to hospital, you use money to buy medicine. If you couldn't pay for the medicine, you would have died. So I also questioned him. Was the medicine injected into your body or money was injected into your body? They said, okay, I've understood. Money is an aid anyway. I can't send money, I've been saying, unless I myself have to work, use the money as an aid to buy. So the interest is on the end product. Money was used to buy the medicine, but it was not the medicine which saved the life. I said, yes, it wasn't the money which saved the life. It was the medicine. Because the medicine was what was injected into the person's system. Illness is treated with medicine, approved medicine, not money. Me, I love debate. So I'm on your question. On your question. Is it a bit clear to you today?
Yeah.
Yes. And even on the issue of the medicine to be able to cure the illness was by God's grace. We know that nurses and doctors, they do morning devotion when they go to work. They pray. Midwives, before they go on the delivery ward, they pray. They even organize church service. Why? Now you're on your own, so why are you calling that? When Moses reached the bank of the Red Sea, he called on Jesus Christ. So Moses literally did not cross the Red Sea with the Israelites. It is impossible. Unless you are proficient in Bible studies. It is people arguing that even the mother of Moses was the one who raised him, and not the one who gave birth. So Jesus Christ crossed the Red Sea with the Israelites, using Moses as an aid. That's why Moses called to him. He taught him what to do. He did, and the sea was open, and they could walk on dry sand. The moment they were done, then the sea was closed. So money is an aid. And even being able to pay for the medicine itself is not even to be trusted. People are giving medicine, they die. So they pray. So the ultimate saver of life and giver of life is God, not money. So money can't save life. Money is not a guarantee to go to heaven. Can we move on?
Okay.
Oh, am I convincing you or what? I mean, I don't understand. Okay, we move on. So fleeting has been understood as something which is a transitory, passing by. Sooner or later, more or less, shadow. It could be ash. When you heap an ash, put a fan there. As the fan blows the air, then the ash will shrink with time. We human beings are fleeting. Psalm 90 verse 10, Psalm 89 verse 48 is saying that our lifespan is 70 years or 80 years. So even as we as human beings, we have been cursed to die, and everyone must die by force. So here, the fleeting nature or the fleeting value. So it means that what has no value. The value is that it will fleet. So you can imagine. The value of what is that it will fleet with time. Jesus appeals to our common sense. Now, what is common sense? Common sense is sound judgment based on facts. Common sense is prudent judgment based on facts. So Jesus Christ appeals to our common sense. We often look for quality items that will last. So you can name them. When you're going to buy, I was told that the high quality of a product does not determine its quality. And for all you know, I have stopped wasting my money to buy expensive gadgets. For example, charger for phone, earbuds, and even the phone itself. With the blink of an eye, the phone can spoil. The cable can break. So, to some level of my understanding nowadays, I've stopped wasting my money on buying. If I go to market and you tell me this, and in fact, I'll buy the low cost. Sometimes the low cost are even better than the higher cost, because they can be destroyed at any time. We often look for the issue of looking for something which will last long is the meaning of using your common sense. If you've been able to judge prudently based on facts. Common sense tells us that it is foolish to buy cheap, shoddy, or inferior things that will soon fall apart. I just pass a comment that I will not buy things that are no more expensive because of what the world is turning into. However, does not mean that I will always, but I mean to say that I have lost hope because all the things that I bought as quality, they have also spoiled. It didn't last to the way that I was expecting. But however, when we are going to buy, we buy things that will last forever. Sometimes some will even want to buy something which will last. Some have dated their appliances 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It could be a car, it could be mobile phone, it could be home appliance. They are good. It means that you are using your common sense. Why? Because you want things that will last either forever or for long. This is the logic that Jesus uses in this section of the Sermon on the Mount. He gives us common sense reasons why we should not store up our or for ourselves treasures on earth. So common sense here is telling you that stop piling up on earth, simple, but rather focus on heaven. You see, the more you give money, you're contributing to your salvation than building more mansions. So those who give more and will follow Christ to the end are likely to go to heaven because they sowed their seed when they were, or when they had the means. Than to, when you accumulate much, you are selfish. You give because someone gave to you. Who is this someone? God gave it to you. You see, we don't make money by hard work, by God's grace. Sometimes I can just be sitting there and someone will send me money. Someone too is working, roaming for the whole month. The person will be paid with regard to what the gift someone has given me. So we have to focus on heaven. The mission of every Christian is to win souls for Christ. Matthew 28, verse 18 to 19. Matthew 28, verse 18 to 19 or 20. Mark 15, verse 15 to 16. Oh, unfortunately, my wife has told my name. Go ye therefore. I can imagine. I thought I was going to see some kind of a romantic name. My wife has told my name. Go ye therefore. I was surprised to see this. Anyway, I'm a fool for Christ. I'm always... Always I'm I am happy that she didn't store you see, how do I even put it, something being as a convention now also. Going therefore means that I am focusing to use for Christ. And when you do this well, then the vision is that God will consider as heaven. So if your purpose is to go to heaven, why are you storing up for your treasures on earth? And to store up your treasure on earth is to preach, to win souls for Christ. Money is good, for all you know. How I wish I have AC in my room. Money is very, 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 very good. I prefer that I get a camera. Last time they were saying it would be about 20,000 Ghana cedis. How I wish, you know, that camera that people have been using to record user videos on TikTok. How I wish I have that camera. Digital, advanced one. I don't have, so I'm using my phone to record. So money itself is good. Nowhere in the Bible has no one, God himself has ever condemned money. No. Even the most expensive wool clothing is food for moth. You see, flying insects. Moth means flying insect. Insect, what flies? Even the most expensive wool clothing is food for moth. Precious coins corrode. Priceless jewelry can be stolen. Everything in this world is temporary. Nothing is permanent. So you can imagine buying your expensive wool clothing and later becoming a food for flying insects. The most expensive coin will corrode from rust to corrode. Priceless jewelry can be stolen, and of course, it always thieves have been stolen. Priceless, we mean that you even bought, but your money was not even equal to the quality of that jewelry. Can be stolen. Everything in this life is temporary. Even we human beings, we are transitory. We also fleet. For sure, you must die. Nothing is permanent. No human being will stay forever. If not, then John, Paul, where are they? They are dead and gone. People continue that we will die. People in that order. Death was its natural case. So my brother, I suppose by now you have known why Christ is saying that the value of wealth is written. Because no matter what you do, you will live it. And even if you build the most renowned architectural design building, that architect, different person will come to you, or another person will come to you, that I want this building, but alter the plan. And you alter. And you see that your building built yesterday, what will be built today and tomorrow is better than yours. There's modernization every day. If you go to India, we call it retrofit. Retrofit. To install a more modern, up-to-date part to a structure based on errors you saw from the former. So you can consider that when that created Adam, he saw some faults. So when he was creating Eve, you call that one retrofit. Of course, I did engineering, so the terms are in my mind. At times, I don't want to confuse people because we are learning the Bible. It is not good to confuse when you teach the Bible with your field of study. It's wrong. We teach wrong as it is, so all people will understand. Bible was written for common people, not necessarily for those who are illiterate. So we try to calm down. So nothing will last forever. Nothing will. Time takes everything out. Time takes everyone out. People who rude wickedly, or even in terms of good, they are dead and gone. Nothing lasts forever. The Greek was used in the original Greek text. So here, you see, me, I trace my origin from the original one. The Greek was used in the original Greek text. Provide fresh insight, so not withered, fresh insight into what Jesus is saying. Now let's crack or decode what the master said. For example, the word translated mote is SAS, SAS. It was used to describe bookworms that destroyed rare and precious books. So it means that if I have a book, then the worm was in. Of course, I wouldn't say it. For a library, how often can you always flip through the pages to see? Sometimes you may spray, but the spray will not be able to kill this worm. So the word mote, SAS, was used to describe bookworms that destroyed rare and precious books. That's the meaning of mote. So flying insect, which could destroy precious books, the books that the librarian wasn't aware that he has reserved, she has reserved. Tomorrow I'll come for the, oh come, it is ready. Before the person came, the book was eaten by the bookworm. That's the sense of the word. Mote. 2, rust. Now before we go to rust, now let's go to engineering in terms of chemistry. Rust and corrosion exists in chemistry. The gradual deterioration of iron or steel due to oxidation. Gradual deterioration of steel due to contact with moisture or oxidation. Oxidation is oxygen reacting with a metal. And steel, rust, and coal. Of course, steel is a non-ferrous metal. Of course, it is also an alloy of carbon and then iron. And there are some 3 features. It lasts in colloid. 2, it attracts magnets. Then the last one is what? Rust and colloid attract magnets. Oh, that's what I forgot. Okay.
No,
yes. So you mean to say that I didn't learn my engineering with you? Okay. It's rust. It's corrode. It also attracts magnets. That's the basic features of a steel. Now we're saying that now if you want to see rust with a naked eye, let's say a cutlass, pour water on it and leave it for a while. You see that the surface will change the color. And when we say oxygen, it could be dew. Dew is the small moist we find sometimes early in the morning, especially if you come to Africa. That is oxygen. When we say oxygen, oxygen isn't always about the air that we breathe. For corrosion and rust to occur, oxygen, we have 3 atmospheric gases: oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen. They cause oxidation. So we say that rust in chemistry is the gradual deterioration of steel with moisture. Now let's see rust. Of course, we are learning the Bible, not the chemistry. So some people will not be confused. The Greek word for rust is brosis. B-R-O-S-I-S. Literally means eaten away. Now, rust will lead to corrosion. When it rusts, it corrodes. No. It corrodes before it will rust. Sorry, in case I was confusing you. Initially, it will corrode. The color will change. Sorry. Those who were listening earlier. Corrosion occurs before rusting. Rusting is when there's total wear off. So the portion is no more there. Yeah, no more there. So if you step on it, sometimes you fall down and then you die. But corrosion is when dew or oxygen comes into contact with the surface of the steel. It will corrode and then eventually it will rust. So when you prevent the corrosion, so you have what to call corrosion control. That is painting. We have painting. If you go to a surface protection, painting. We have painting. We have spraying, and although we have retrocreating, galvanizing, and a whole lot. So you try to coat the surface so that the paint will act as a medium again, so that when water falls on the surface, it falls rather on the paint, not rather in contact with the steel. So when there's corrosion and there's no control, that is where rust will take place. I think now I've covered myself, so we move on. In the Bible, this word was used to describe mice and rats devouring grain. So when you are done with your farming, mice and rats remain rodents in terms of earth science. When they are different, we say rats. Locusts and birds consuming crops and pastures. When you have your vegetables and the locusts and the birds are consuming, they are also eating all the green grass. It also means rust. We move on. Worm and insects eating things underground where you cannot see. Sometimes there's a full tree or plant there. The moment you push, with a little effort, then it falls down, so that the under had been eaten by worms. Then the last one, or wild animals feasting on cattle. We mean prey and predator. This is you see the larger meaning of rust. I mean, bruises. Break in. The Greek verb to break is a verb, right? So the Greek verb translated break in, dirososi, literally means dig through. So when a thief is able to dig through mud brick wall, that means the thief has broken in. All these things are there to let you know that whatever you have is not entirely protected. It describes a thief, or very good, with a sharp object digging through the mud brick wall of a house to steal jewels. Why did you tell me that it is even there? Gold and silver coins. Dig through. It could be brick wall or mud brick wall. When you say mud brick, it means that the brick has been forged. No, when you say forged, the brick has been, I don't know how to put it. Baked. Yes, baked. The mud has been baked into bricks. So it is not as softer as just mixing water with clay to form the body, understand? Yes. And in these days, in the olden days, they were not using bricks. And what the bricks that they were using was not the same as what we are using, what we call today as bricks. Theirs, because of the old era, they had to bake it, you understand? They baked it. So it was still a brick. Do not think that the brick that you have today are harder than them. It is not true. These are not baked. They are through cement, water, and sand, right? This one was baked by fire, so it was so durable that sometimes a bomb couldn't even penetrate. It is believed that everything done in the olden days were better than nowadays. Human beings were not entirely corrupt and selfish. So nowadays, because of profit, people want to gain more. So what I said that it described a thief with a sharp object. It could be a knife, any weapon, to dig through the mud brick wall of a house to steal jewels, gold, and silver coins, precious materials. Break in. We are trying to exegete Matthew 6, verse 19. Nothing is secure in the house made of sun-dried bricks. It is insecure. It is insecure. The person who created virus also created antivirus. So you can make money. You create a software, you create a virus for it, then you create the antidote. So that the same person, you pay him for the software development, you pay him for the virus, you also pay him for the antivirus. Then he makes money. Evil thought of human beings. And that is education, where we are corrupted through by Satan. So the person who is, or the mason will build the house, and the thief or thieves will also find a very nice way to penetrate. And people's rooms have been, they steal to and fro. No matter how you protect yourself, burglar proof and others, they will still go in to steal. But thank God that no one has stolen from me before. Now today, ask John Scott, of course, sometimes too I read other books, PDF, to support my claims or to join my teaching. So this man was an English scholar and cleric. He says, we try to protect our treasures by insecticides, and it is true. Sometimes you spray, and then the cockroaches and others will die. Sometimes you don't even know that they exist. But when you spray, when they won't become confined, when we say confined, now confined space in Warden is a space or a situation in which the natural ventilation is inadequate. It means that sometimes you are suffocated. So you need to employ ceiling fan, standing fan, artificial ventilation. That's the meaning of confined space. So sometimes you confine, you close the room, shut all the windows, and then you spray. You go and come in an hour or 30 minutes, and you see different insects. Centipede, millipede, houseflies, cockroaches. Then man will know that indeed I am protecting my assets. So he said that we try to protect our treasures by insecticides. Rat poison or mouse or mice poison, mouse traps, rust-proof paint, as I mentioned, and burglar alarms. So it means that the man has forged many schemes to protect an earthly treasure by force, and we don't know where the person is taking them to. I'm surprised with the spray and everything. We don't know where you are protecting them to carry to.
It's a person's one, so why wouldn't I should protect it?
Of course, it is true. Of course, it's true. So that he will see it and then be glorified. It is true. It is true. But then I'm saying that.
By maybe clothes or something, you wear it, so you just allow the flies and the rats to spoil it, and you go and buy another.
You hard-earned money, right? I understand. So you also insert alarms. You have what you call burglar alarm. When you hear of the word is burglar proof, not burglar proof. Burglar proof means that a guard to prevent the beggar from stealing. No one was born a thief. None was born a beggar. But when you are in need, it's when you beg. Sometimes you're in a car. I'll be citing an example. You are holding a huge note or currency that the seller of the water has no change. If someone doesn't consider you in the car, or the seller doesn't consider you, you die of thirst. Then you are a beggar. You are in need. You have the money, but the person has no change. So a beggar and then the thief were not born so. Time changed circumstances, and circumstances change the course of a man's life. You move on. So here, the burglar alarm is when sometimes you press and then someone is aware. When I come and you are needy, it means that I won't open. Some will just visit just because they are coming for gain. They will come and gossip because they have seen that you have two yams, two tubes of yams there. And by force, he or she must have one or half. Gossip and bring the whole useless issues. You laugh out your heart and you are in place. You go with this plantain. I will not even then. So when you ring the bell and you are seeing that you are a beggar, then you pretend that you are not there. Of course, there's no composing. There's no camera to determine whether you are in or out. So the person can look through and they will know that he's in or he's out. Some will not even respond at all. Sometimes they have some small window to peep. When they see you, for example, our dog, right? There's a small corner there where we can see you so clearly from inside who you are. And you can't even enter because you see where we are. Unless you call, you go down to official receive you. You cannot enter my room. Of course, I plan my life anyway.
So you are protecting your wealth?
No, it's not what. My peace of mind and freedom. I don't want that.
You are here complaining people are protected by a.
Okay, so here, my word is my peace of mind. Because we are, you see, I suffer, you are aware that I wake up around 4 a.m. to go to school. As if I'm a watchman. Sorry to say that. I feel I'm a security. And I come home, the day I'll come early will be somewhere 8 o'clock. It means I didn't even go to church. If I go to church, I have to come home somewhere 9 o'clock, sometimes 10 p.m. So, on Saturday, I preach and I rest. That's why I don't attend any function. Because, after all, on Saturday I'll go to church. If you live a life of stress, you die young age. So, on weekends, I don't expect that anyone should come and worry me. I need to visit you. No. Call on phone and we'll talk. So, maybe before I hire him, I want a reserve area so I can rest my soul. Please, can you move on? Okay. But we can lose our jobs and go bankrupt. It is true. It is true. No work is permanent. It is when you obey with the regulations. If you offend, now for example, teaching. If you rape a child, or if a child should lie against you by false accusation, they will delete your name from the system. I mean, from the controller and the accountant general department. And that is your end. When you are called to examination of practices, that means if you leak foreign material for the children to copy in the national exams, you caught. Sometimes you go to jail, or you won't go to jail, but your name is taken. Sometimes they will, I won't say sometimes, they see your sex. How will you apply for work? So even the way that we say it is permanent, it will still remain so when you obey simple regulation, when you do not trespass the law. We can lose jobs and go bankrupt. Business collapse. Nothing can be trusted. Our house can burn to the ground, and we hear natural disasters a lot. Some are good and some are bad. Some happen due to the person's selfishness. He has cheated the whole community, his friends, to reach the top. So nature will take its course. So I don't pity anyhow. If when someone dies, it is not my duty to pity. Of course, I will not laugh, but I am not interested. There's someone who is dead. How can you console the dead? People go there to weep. Some will weep and some will cry. You see, we have weeping is different from crying. Mostly, the widow or the widower weeps. Cry is shouting. Weep is inward, and the inward one is dangerous. You can die. If you want to cry, cry. It is good to cry than to weep. But me, I have no respect for the dead. If you want to show respect, when the person was alive. When I say respect, it's not when that you are going to say some kind of words. I apologize for this. Now thank you for this. No. It's wrong. If you are showing respect, it's when we have to carry the person, but not that the person is dead. That you are going to buy a phone that the person should be buried with. As you are doing that, thieves are around. They will go and put the coffin and then they will take the phone, because the phone belongs to the living than the dead. So me, I don't have time to respect for the dead. If I have something to offer you, it's when you are alive and not when you die. So if I go to a funeral, I don't go to circle the dead person. The person was alive and already I knew the person. What's the essence at all in it to go and see the face of the person who is dead? To gain what, actually? I mean, to gain what?
To see this for the last time, because we're not going to see the person again.
Oh. I don't fancy that. I've never ever gone for a funeral, gone to see the face of the dead. Never. I will never do it.
But it's not compulsory. You don't want it. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. Is it wrong?
I didn't say it's wrong, but I said I don't see the
for the
benefits.
last time. You are not going to see the person again.
Oh,
Not like the person is traveling or something, but the person is normal.
I have this on her pictures. When I lied, when when the picture was shot and the eye was open, when you die, your eyes are closed. And when you die, basically you change from.
So I'm going to see it. Yeah.
I hate that a lot. So to some point, they thought I even killed the person. Because I refuse to go in. I hate it because I don't see the relevance.
So you didn't.
No. For my father, I looked before he was at the community. When he was brought to his room, was when I poured some milk on his hands so that the eyes will, he will defeat the others. But when he was officially laid in state, I didn't go. That campaign went. I didn't go. I didn't see the relevance. But from afar, I saw a crown. He was pain twin. So there was a crown with some light, and then also on the wrist. But officially, I didn't go around him. I hate it. I hate that because I don't see the relevance. We move on. Of course, we are different human beings, and our lives too might be different.
So when I die, you won't look at my face.
Or you won't die now.
It's a question.
I will, and you also, of course, you're my wife. How can I do that? You're my wife. The issue of love is different from.
Me, I'll come and sit beside you.
Oh, for sure, we will do so. That one is different from father, mother. You are also aware that the love that we give to our partners is far more intense than our parents. If you're a father, no matter what you do for your child, when your child is married, if you are sensible, you must even encourage him or her to love the partner than you. In fact, it is a sin that I should love my mother than my wife. It is a sin. Whom am I going to account for? My wife, when I die. My father will account for his wife, my mother. For all you know, naturally, we practice nuclear family system. Naturally. Because the husband will account for himself, the wife and children. The wife, herself, the husband and the children. You understand? So in nature, we are all cursed to strictly practice nuclear family system, because that is what we're going to account in the Bible. If my salary is not able to care for my family, I must not donate to no one. If they die, they die. I don't care. That's what we read in the Bible. So if I'm my mother, my father, if I'm my mother, when you visit me, you see what I'm the way I am serving my wife. If you complain, hey, you are rich. Straight out, I'll say you are rich. Straight. If I'm my wife's father, mother, you visit me and you show, I will ask you to go. You're not serious. What do you mean by that? You love your wife loves you. Is it wrong for your daughter to also love me? Is it wrong for me to also love my wife? Why are you complaining? I will start telling you go. In fact, you are coming to the summer. Go with your troubles and then we are free. I don't entertain such a illiteracy and then Ghanaian useless culture. You understand? Yes. If you are my mother, when my father didn't cook for you, we didn't advise you to marry him. Simple. If you see my wife worshiping me as Sarah worshipped Abraham, if you see me worshiping my wife as Isaac adored Rebecca, even praying on her behalf for being married for 20 years, my friend, don't complain, because I made the wisest choice. She also made when you were going to choose, you were not blind, my friend. Initially, you didn't say you were rich, but it is your attitude that is portraying to be a rich. So we call you a rich as such. And that's why I will explain, because it was attitude that was equal to that. Can we move on? I have answered several questions. If you shouldn't turn the teachings, that was just by the way, of course. You have the right to chip in questions and then you answer and you. But still, we are on the main subject. So the house can be blown away by tornado, or be swept away in a flood. It could be completely be swept away. Sometimes we see a heavy flood destroying buildings, of course, outside the country. We mean in the Western countries. A whole small building will collapse, at times by a wind or a natural disaster. Thieves can steal our identity. Yes, we see superimposition. We say impersonification. The person can copy your signature, your fingerprint, your ATM. That's why when you go to ATM booth, always you are advised to stay behind, to stay back. When someone is clean code and then drawing, the moment you try to steal, you are a thief. The person can give you a kiss. They will arrest you. By civilization, you must know all these things. So as you are going to bank, if you're a wife where your husband has given you an ATM card, if you're a husband, your wife has given you her ATM card, please don't go to the bank with your friend. No matter how related you are, even with your own sibling. I remember an issue which happened 2017 or so. The man I've got him, he's a welder. We were in the same campaign. He was just a friend from Hania. When he comes to work, he was struggling. The company didn't mind him. Not knowing that they went to Accra for a contract where he was paid, it's 3 times the amount he was paid at the workshop. And because he was going, the wife was at a Holy Child college teacher. So he gave the ATM card to the wife so that as they are pumping the money into the account, the wife can withdraw to take care of herself and the children. And foolishly, the wife was going to the ATM booth with her friends. And one friend took the card, when he had then mimicked the number, to withdraw 2,000 Ghana cedis. Even nowadays, 2,000 Ghana cedis is money. That was 2017. So this means that if you had that money, you could have used for the operation. You see. So thieves can easily mimic, can personify us to go and steal using our own credentials. Or they can break into our home, our car, to take our valuables. Even if, so this is my quote, even if we hold on to wealth throughout life, we will still lose it when we die. So someone who had bought insecticide mouse trap to poison, to kill the mouse, protecting the world. What if you die? And for sure you will die. When you are ill, when David was ill, he wasn't even going to die. Then Adonijah claimed himself as a king. The father was just ill. When they brought the Shunammite woman to comfort her, he proclaimed himself king, by force king. So when they see that you are ill, then those people who think they are the right heirs, they will start to jubilate. Go. Then they will. So some will not even wake. They are waiting for you to die. Even if you hold on to our words throughout life, so in all our life, some will not even go to church. Some don't. Some have more in their house that they fear to even go out. So in the night, they can't even sleep. More work is also a burden. There's an anxiety. You can't even sleep comfortably. Now, supposing that thieves are aware that you have this in your home, they will target when there's light out. So the one there's light out, that the person is angry, will wake up with his gun. Sometimes you will even kill someone who was just passing by. The person is preoccupied, assuming that anybody who makes a step is a thief. So they have to install plant, generator, with automatic. So when there's light, then it will start. Because the fence has an electric fence, so that if you climb, you die. So the person is even killing human beings. Someone who may just want to climb. Sometimes not necessarily to steal. But it could be an accident or incident, then the person will die. And at the end, you are seen as a thief. So far as the light killed you, you are a thief. Not all are thieves. Maybe the children were playing football. You see children and they are ignorant. Sometimes this first can cut or can catch the ball. Ignorantly, they will tend to climb to take their ball, and they will die. And you, the rich person, because the person is rich, you can't even take him to court. You ask him, they place a pack, a whole lot, then it will become a free case. You move on. Do you have a question to ask? We brought nothing into the world, And certainly, we can take nothing out of it. 1 Timothy 6 verse 7. There's a Spanish proverb which says that there are no pockets in a shroud. Do you know a shroud? A clothing used to wrap dead body. Because there's leaking. When you die, that's why they put cotton here, sometimes ears, sometimes they will even see Indians, they plaster. They won't use super glue. Ghana use super glue and cotton. No. Sometimes they plaster it entirely. All the eyes, I think the nose, this side, the mouth is sealed. And in Ghana, because of superstition, they will say that the corpse or the dead body was crying. The eyes or the water from the human body. Because you are frozen for a while. So definitely, the more they wait, the more the water will be drained. They have to use the fridge to just as we warm or we keep our fishes and meat and others in there. So also human beings, if you die, they will keep you. So you see the nature, the life of a human being, a fridge. So a shroud is something that conceals, no leaking. So the cloth used to wrap the body of someone who is dead must not leak. That's what they're saying. That there are no pockets in a shroud. You brought nothing, you can take nothing. The lure of earthly treasure. The lure mean excitement. No, rather it should be an enticement. The lure. You see, Delilah lured Samson. And if you do in-depth studies, Bible is saying that Delilah didn't cut the hair of Samson. Please, do you agree?
She didn't.
You see, Delilah was more or less same as Judas. She did the betraying. So it is believed that someone cut the hair of Samson. Because her duty was to lure him. So Judas took money, lured Christ to be betrayed. Christ was not killed by Judas.
Yeah.
So we equate Delilah to Judas Iscariot in terms of in the biblical studies. Just as I said that David didn't kill Goliath with a stone. Are you aware?
Yeah, the last time you explained.
Yes, he killed Goliath with his own sword. The stone was an aid for him to fall down by virtue of the Holy Spirit. But the head was to be cut off, not by the stone, but by his own sword. And to cut off a head means that personal humiliation. That's why when King Saul was killed, he was beheaded and pinned his body and the head to the temple of idols. It was the high form of humiliation. So King Saul died so humiliating. A whole king being beheaded. His body was, decapitated. It means that it was divided into members. So they bent and then they came to bury the bones. So we are saying that Delilah didn't cut the hair of Samson. Of course, it is debatable. But the common sense is that Judas didn't kill Jesus. His was to betray by kissing, right? So Delilah was to know the weak point of Samson. And therefore, my money is corrected. So I'm done. Do with him what you want to do. It was also not Delilah who plucked out the eyes of Samson. My white lecturers, they are good debaters though. At times, they give me a question, so when my mind isn't even there. And I'm surprised, how come people have sense in this manner? This is that we Africans, we joke with Bible studies. Only one pattern. My pastor said this. When I went to school, they said, so that, and that is why we can't invent nothing in Ghana as an engineer as we claim. One way learning, no flexibility, nothing. When you say idea, you are wrong. So I say that it was not Delilah who cut the hair of Samson. Number two, it wasn't Delilah who plucked out so if the Philistines plucked out the eyes of Samson right there, then who cut the hair? They, right? Because the eyes were there, right there. Not that he was taken to the other temple.
So, no, I don't understand.
Of course, you must not understand.
If the eyes were plucked right there by the Philistine and the hair wasn't cut.
No, the hair was cut. When the hair was cut, he became powerless.
So
The Spirit of God has left him.
So it could be that she did it and then they had the chance to plug out the eyes by the Philistines.
He was asleep while the hair was cut. Okay. So Delilah didn't sleep after her hair was cut by Delilah. She offered him sex, good sex. And he was completely relaxed. And his soul was craving to die. Because the Bible said he poured out his heart. So definitely it wasn't Delilah who cut the hair. He was far asleep. Now, let me take you to Egypt. We are told that in the olden days, every king could be killed through the wife. Through the wife. Through what? Copper poison. Lead poison. Because they were drinking from lead cups. So the wife, she's the only person that you can use. Because she's the only person who is closer to him. Right? Yes, she will cook for him. Everything. So as you see me, my secret is known. So if they want to destroy me, they will destroy me through you. And that's why I prefer that. And I'm happy that you are secret. No one comes between us. The way I live with you, the same I live with Doris. Doris, she will never do that. So if they want to destroy the husband, it is always by the wife. If they want to kill the chief, the king, it was always through the wife. So they use Delilah. Not necessarily that otherwise she will cut the hair and pluck the eyes. Was not part of the contract. Betray him. Nowhere, the word is entice him to know where her strength is. That's all. But it's a picture and painting. Depict that she was the one cutting. But my common sense here should tell me that she didn't do it. She offered him good sex. So when she slept, the hair was cut. And she said, Samson, the Philistines are here. So fight. Then he saw that, no, God has already left him. He was seized and the eyes were plucked. Enticement. Judas, the betrayer of Judas was a thief because there were many and they couldn't distinguish. He kissed, but he had then taken the money. Long ago, the killing wasn't done by. He went, in fact, he felt remorseful. The Bible is saying that Judas was remorseful. And remorseful is not repentance. He never repented. Why can't God forgive Satan? Because Satan will never repent. So we Christians, we also don't forgive someone who will never repent. When we stay in him, we will be like Christ. So I was created by Christ, so I must live as he lived. Christ and Satan are enemies because Satan will never ever apologize. Proud and arrogant. So also we also treat our fellow human beings, being a Christian or wherever you are. It's not that we are litigating, but when Judas never repented. Did you ever see? Because Christ opened his arms for him to come, but he never came. Of course, he felt sorry, but feeling sorry is not repentance. Repentance is a process. Can we move on? Mm-hmm. Sometimes I love your additions. Of course, it beautifies our teachings anyway. So the lure of earthly treasures, of course, it was the lure which it took us to Delilah, and it is good for expansion. Now, earthly treasures consist of things we regard as precious: houses, aeroplanes, cars, bicycles, boats, mansions, TV, education, fame, academic qualifications, honor, influence, leisure, even money. The homes we build, the pleasure, because we have money to travel elsewhere to go and buy expensive wine to drink, sports, even praises, status, the travel, and the car that we buy are all earthly treasures. Name them, there are a lot. These things are earthly treasures that tend to draw our attention away from God and our hearts from eternal home in heaven. We call it idol. Idol. God hates idols. From the chapter 4, we will look at God and money. Matthew 6:24. God and money. One leg is in world, one leg is in the church. You can't serve two masters in summer. So you'll be using the Matthew a lot. You can't serve two masters. And because of this, you are preoccupied. You are always occupied. When the moment you leave your home for an hour, then you are afraid. What if thieves go and then steal? So you are overprotective. Some can even, if some have money in the bank, and they are so miser, you will die, and because they want to pile and be given an award to be called the best saver, a whole lot. So that the wife needs money, the husband will never give. Because of miser, he has more money in the bank. He will never withdraw for her. Likewise, the wife. But of course, men always give to the family. Jesus is warning us about the word is powerful attraction of earthly treasures and the temptations that come with riches. They are not bad, but they have a power to attract, and they tempt us a lot. Some fathers regard their gadgets than their own wives and children. The attention that they give to the gadgets when it is faulty, or the way they clean, the way they cherish it, is more than the children in the home, more than the wife in the home. So you can imagine, everything is grass. Everything is grass. And if we're unlucky as a woman, and the child has began to crawl, hey, then you are a mad woman in the house, because you must cautiously protect the child from drawing or breaking anything in the home. In fact, some will even divorce their wife because the wife could not care for the child, and therefore the child has broken the glass or has destroyed the phone. So the person has made a choice of perishable thing to a human being. Two of us. And why should you sit down and think that the wife must even serve you food? The wife must cook for you. My wife must take up the child. This even leads to madness. Some of the women are not mentally stable. Thank you. They are not. Because of the home chores, the pressure from the husband, I would say irresponsible husband. So therefore, the wife is always preoccupied to prepare breakfast, lunch, supper, to take care of the children. And the children, when they crawl, they are very disturbing. When they crawl and when they start to walk, they disturb a lot. And during that time, you know that you have to rearrange. If your TV is down, then you have to mount it a bit. I'm engineer, so we have everything. We can mount the TV to where the child the height will not reach. So the moment we are blessed with children, then we change the position of the TV. Another thing that we think that the child can destroy. You do not go and come back to query your wife or to insult it because no, it's wrong. But why? Because we have put our trust in it. We are being enticed by it. So therefore, we see it to be more precious than human being. How can you compare a gadget to a human being? How possible? Why the child can go to buy the most renewable ones? Go to 1 Timothy 6, verse 7 and 10. I read. Paul said, people who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap and into many foolish and harmful desires. Foolish, so you have to underline, foolish and harmful desires that plunge men into ruin and destruction. Foolish and harmful desires. So I want to get this. I want to be called this. I want to outrank this. Evil ambition. Foolish. We move on. Because it is in foolishness, it will also harm you. Before you are aware, you are harmed. You place yourself in it, you will swim in it, you won't even know. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Some people eager for money have wandered from their faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. 1 Timothy 6, verse 7 to 10. It's a greatest warning to acquire material earthly wealth, foolish and harmful desires. It will lead you into danger. Notice that the apostle didn't say money is evil, but the love of it is evil. So please, we are not here to condemn money. I myself, I need money. As I speak, as I was saying, I need a camera, a very nice camera, which will be able to record, give me 4K, 8K video, quality image. So money itself is the love of it. Now, I don't have. So if I start to join Freemason, if I start to prefer from workplace, people's money, then I will spend it. Then later I will lie. It means that I love the money, and it is a sin. Of course, they will curse you in Ghana. Riches can be a blessing as well as a curse. This I think that you must know. Some are rich, but the money has been able to curse them as well. They have become so wicked. Very, very, very wicked. And some too are so generous. They give every day, unless they didn't hear anything, then they are the first to give. They can be used for good as well as for evil. Some are using their money to fund civil war. Some are using their money to sleep with other people's wives. Some women are using money to sleep with every man that they want. They have the money, so they don't respect their spouse. Some children have money, they don't respect their parents. They are the authority in the home because they pay the rent, they have hired a room for them, they have buy them land, or they have bought them land, they are begging for them, so they control. So now, so unfortunately, some people have the notion that when you have money driving the best of car, no other person can approach to advise you. So they are using the money as a form of security. So respect is when you are rich. So therefore, they fear to come to you. You see, if you want people to fear you, be disciplined. That's all. Me, I hate nonsense. If you come, pastor, my father, my mother, my teacher, the way I'll fire you, and I'll cut my socialization with you, because I will not let you come and destroy my life. So if I discipline, you are gone. I'm not that fame and power through money or material wealth. So unfortunately, when you are from abroad and you're coming to Ghana to marry, all the in-laws are quiet. In Ghana, when you are going to marry and work with the mines, if you are a miner, the in-laws are silent. Go there if you're a police. Go there if you're a teacher. Go there if you're an artisan. Go there if you're a trader. Go there if you're a driver. Then is where they will suggest to you what you should do better. So you see that it is true that money has power, but only to the fools. If you want power, go to school, begin as a volunteer, become permanent staff. Let your work rise you. People will respect you forever and ever. Come to my office one day and see those who salute you. And of course, you must salute. Because you're coming to my office. If you misbehave, I will sack you. because I didn't ask you to come here. Paul said to Timothy, command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant. So those of you who are having the notion that when I have money, my father can't advise me, nor put their hope in what? When you put your hope in what? It's when you become completely proud and arrogant. I have a car. I drive this. I have iPhone 17 Pro Max. I drink only vodka. I eat at high places. Think that your hope is in your words and become so arrogant. And so Paul was advising Timothy to also communicate to you and I, which is so uncertain. What is uncertain? Just as it came, so also it can go. That's why someone can lose a whole house to a flood. The house can burn because of pride. But to put their hope in God, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. When you are rich in God, you sleep and you sleep so soundly. No anxiety. So is your hope in God or your hope is in your work? Command them to do good. Are you good? Do you give? Or you are miser? To be rich in good works and to be generous and willing to share. Are you generous? Are you willing to share? Or unless you are forced? Sometimes the person will even die. Oh, shit. I plan to even pay for the bills. I planned. But he didn't prepare. Planning is different from being prepared. Sometimes, unless it is announced, and because they want fame, announce, unless so because they want them to be known when they pay. After all, there was no one to pay, so when he paid, then he would be accorded with much respect. Be generous and willing to share. In this way, they will lay up treasure for themselves as a firm foundation for the coming age, so that they may take hold of life that is truly life. 1 Timothy 16, verse 17 to 19 is where we're talking from. Are you generous? Do you share? Or you are miser? We continue. With these words, Paul is echoing the words of Jesus. The money and earthly treasures we hoard or we pile will be lost by force. Now, cast back your mind to 5 years ago. What you bought? Are they there? They are destroyed. They are spoiled. You don't even know where they are. The money we give away to the poor and the kindness we show others in the name of Christ will be rewarded by us in heaven, by God. So we're saying that be generous and be willing to share. We came your way with the fleeting value of earthly treasures or earthly words, if you want, and then the lure of earthly treasure. If you have any questions. Thank you for joining me. So next time we will see you on Matthew chapter 6, verse 20. The eternal value of treasures or treasure in heaven. See you next time. Bye-bye.